but that we found this tool that is specifically for YouTube videos where you put the video on unlisted and you run it through this AI platform, and it comes up with a bunch. It does everything that we were taking 30, 45 minutes in the marketing meeting to do together and talk through, and it does it in 60 seconds. About 6 months ago, I hired a full-time W-2 director of marketing in our business. He's just been a game changer for us. But I know my team leverages AI. They do a lot of it behind the scenes. I don't even know exactly how they're doing it or what they're doing. But to me, if it makes what they do more efficient, like phenomenal and great. And we have this this marketing meeting that we do with me, my director of marketing, and Zach, who you know Zach, our copywriter.
Sure.
And we were actually, so every YouTube video we were putting out, we would have a collaborative marketing meeting. Zach would come up with a bunch of different titles. We would vote on the titles. He would then, write the description. I'm sure he was using some AI for that. But that we found this tool that is specifically for YouTube videos where you put the video on unlisted and you run it through this AI platform, and it comes up with a bunch. It does everything that we were taking 30, 45 minutes in the marketing meeting to do together and talk through, and it does it in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, this is incredible. And for me, I value, and I'm good with paying for the labor and support because I like the collaboration, but it now puts rocket fuel on what we can now do as a team and how many of those we can accomplish. I was just blown away.
Yes. And you make such an important point, because there's a distinction there too, is I think last count in 2022 or 2023, there was 32 million small businesses in the United States. The vast majority of them are under $1 million in annual revenue. What does that mean? It means that in terms of marketing budget, most of them don't have a budget. They can't hire a full-time marketing person. They're wearing a marketing hat, a production. I mean, they're doing everything. They're making the food, they're selling the food, they're waiting the tables, the vast majority of businesses. And so I sort of stumbled into it where I found all this joy in actually helping those businesses that otherwise didn't have access to tools, didn't have access to teams. We're connected to virtual staffing firms now. I never anticipated this, but it's kind of like that idea of you take the first step. Martin Luther King said, you take the first step and the stairwell reveals itself.
First step in faith. Yep.
First step in faith. So that happened. We started doing these things with these workshops, and all of a sudden small businesses gravitated, because remember Mad Libs when you were a kid? You'd fill in the blanks, adjective, verb, or maybe I'm too old, like you're younger. But Mad Libs was like, you've just give me a noun, give me a verb, give me an adverb, and then it paints a story. The way we created the prompts was very much like Mad Libs, like anybody could do it. You just copy paste and then fill in the industry you're in. Describe in one sentence or 3 words who your ideal customer is, a couple of things, and then watch AI take over. And we started doing that. And then businesses would come and say, okay, how do I do this? And geez, I don't have the money to hire a full-time person. And then all of a sudden we started getting connected with virtual assistants. More and more, I would see the people that were buying my courses were small business owners. And then they would give it to their virtual assistant, who was $600 a month, but they could turn that person into essentially a director of marketing. They were hardworking, they were smart, but with the tools and then the training, they could level up the entire marketing. That was something beyond the reach of most small businesses, around $250,000, but they could afford this. And then the quality of marketing was just phenomenal. And so that's what we've seen the biggest growth in, is these, $250,000 to $1 million companies, or $1 million plus, that are hiring virtual assistants as a director of marketing, and for less.
It's so incredible. And as you're saying this, I mean, I just think about the franchise niche specifically, given this is the Franchise Empire show, but there are over 700,000 franchise owners in the United States alone, and more than 80% of them are single unit operators, right? So the average franchisee cannot afford to hire a director of marketing. They may have a 1 unit or location that maybe does $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 in sales. Maybe they're running on 15, 20% margins, right? And so to be able to leverage something like that is a complete game changer. If you enjoyed this short clip from the podcast, you can check out another short clip right here. Or if you want to watch the full episode of this podcast, you can watch that here. And remember, knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge that's power. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.